Hey folks, welcome back. JayborinoPlays here, playing StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. We're on Harbinger of Oblivion, the third Ulnar map.
Your hierarch is apparently unaware of the danger closing in around him. If you desire his safe return, you will send your warriors to these coordinates now.
Okay, we got High Templar out. One of the achievements is to kill 15 units with Psionic Storms, which is surprisingly challenging when you're trying to go in tandem with completing it before Kerrigan loses more than 3 hives, which on Brutal amounts to about 18 minutes game time, which is quite fast, especially on this map here. So let's go ahead and assign our Solarite. So I think Warp and Reinforcements is really good here. Just for the extra units, allows us to snowball a bit more effectively. Definitely going to stick with Solar Lance. It allows us to push into heavily fortified areas. Orbital Assimilator as well allows us to get started with fewer probes. And then with 20 remaining Solarite, I'm actually going to max out starting supply and then a little bit of construction time. Then to the War Council.
This Tal'Darim has brought warriors with him. Perhaps there is a benefit to his presence after all.
Okay, so again, we're on a mission where we have to go fast and be able to snowball without losing too much at each individual objective, so I'm going to go with Sentinels. Because with the reconstruction, a lot of them are more likely to survive. After they get blown up, by the time they come back to life, the engagement is over and they're still in your army.
These purifiers have joined our army, Hierarch. It seems they are willing to serve you. For now.
So, I will try out the Adepts later, just not this mission. There's one particular spot where there's a bit of a choke point, and I want to be able to get units up and down ramps and in little tight spots, so we're going to go with Stalkers so we can blink them around. And then I am going to go ahead and try out the new Blood Hunters. You only need a couple of these in your army, and they are great at disabling static defense. So we'll go ahead and give those a shot. And I'm going to go with the normal Sentry here for the shield recharge, because we're going to be making some Archons. We'll also try out the Annihilators here with the Shadow Cannon. Just going to try out a few different units here, specifically the Blood Hunter and Annihilator, so that we've used them for one of the missions. And this mission is also really good for Phoenix with the double lift. They double lift, and then you can get those Psystorm kills because these units are immobile and floating in the air, so they can't run away from the storms, especially on Brutal, where they tend to avoid your casted spells. Alrighty, with that, let's go ahead and get started. The mastery is to do things out of order, so trying to do it in under 18 minutes and out of order is very challenging. You can do it with cheese. I'm not going to cheese. Rather, I'm just going to ignore the mastery.
This path will lead your forces toward Tanis. I have done as I promised, Dark Templar. Now go tell your hierarch. I am waiting for him.
Matriarch, our High Templar have volunteered to aid you.
The loss of the Kala was not easily borne, but we are ready to serve once again.
Templar, I thank you for your bravery in this dire time. We will recover our hierarch.
No nerve cords on the High Templar. Neat little detail. Getting those 15 Psionic Storm kills is actually the hardest part of this map. It's a pain.
For art. Unleash Psionic Storms, brothers. Let these hybrid thralls feel the wrath of the Templar.
Okay, we'll do this. Okay, so that's 5. That's 1/3 of the way there, and we're going to struggle to get the last 10. Mostly because it's luck-based. It's hard to tell if your normal units kill units or if your High Templar Storm does it. So you just got to storm everywhere and hope that you get it.
I have heard of these Terran specters. Focus their energies into a feedback loop. They will not bear it.
Okay, so I'm gonna storm here and then feedback, feedback, feedback. That may have gotten the Marines and the Marauder. I really don't know. So let's move on to the next section. This guy get healed, they'll all get their energy back on the next section as well.
To me, my swarm!
Templar, join us, quickly!
Maybe we got one of those? It's really hard to tell unless you check the kills on the High Templar.
Vorazun, your forces have arrived just in time. Amon has opened a portal to the Void. It must be shut down before it tears us apart.
Agreed. My swarm and I will bear the brunt of Amon's power and buy you time. But it's up to you to seal that portal.
The gateway draws power from these Void crystals. We will need to destroy them if we are to seal the gate. Then it shall be done.
Non-stop probe production until we get fully saturated. And we've got the automatic extractors, so let's get going. Assimilators, whatever they're called. And we start with a Stargate. So I'm going to try to incorporate that into this strategy just because they give this to us, so I'm going to get some of these Phoenix.
The darkness is approaching my Hive cluster, Artanis. I hope you're getting ready to disable those crystals. I'll continue sending as many Zerg as I can spare to help you. Fight well, Templar.
So she does send units out every so often. She consistently sends a couple Zerglings. They help to distract sometimes, but for the most part, not really that useful until she sends large attacks, which you can use for larger distractions. So we'll grab our third assimilator here, and then we're just going to keep getting High Templar off of this single gateway. And then some Phoenix, because the Phoenix will lift units up, and that allows us to storm them without them running out of the storm. Because on Brutal, enemies actively avoid the storm, which is why it's so hard to get 15 kills with storm. It's such a pain in the butt. And also, the enemy composition we're facing is really not that conducive to getting kills with storm. So that's just something we're going to have to deal with. All right, there is our orbital assimilator. So I'm mostly just going to be building High Templar, and so the meat to our army is going to be from warp in reinforcements. That's why I picked it, because we want to make a lot of High Templar in order to storm, and that's explicitly to be able to get both of these achievements at the same time, because otherwise it's just a big pain.
Hierarch, I am detecting several energy sources hidden across the temple. They appear to be Xel'Naga vessels. Ancient power sources. If we can locate them, I should be able to use their energy to free up additional solarite from the Spear of Adun's core.
We've secured a Xel'Naga vessel, Karax. Prepare for transfer.
Unbelievable. Despite eons of inactivity, these devices are still at full power.
Okay, and this right here is the 4th hive. We have to finish to get the achievement before that hive is destroyed, and we'll probably finish like right before as it's getting destroyed. Okay, so let's move down here, and I'm just gonna storm the crap out of this group. Try to get some storm kills. Again, it's luck based at this point on whether the storm kills it or our other units do. So hopefully we just got a couple, but there's really no way to know. Okay, keep getting those probes. I'm gonna keep getting some Phoenix now, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw down a Dark Shrine so we can get some of the Blood Hunters out. Okay, there's another gateway / warp gate. Okay, we're just going to keep using warp in reinforcements until about halfway through the map, at which point we'll transition over to Solar Lance instead. And again, just lots of High Templar. We want to be able to storm with as many of these as possible, because they start with not enough energy to be able to storm. So I'm going to wait for Kerrigan here, because eventually she'll want to go and attack.
Chosen, slay these heretics in Amon's name!
Okay, let's back up here. And here comes some Zealots. We might get some kills here. It's hard to say. I want these Phoenix to back up, and then we're gonna storm. Okay, I think we got a few there. We don't want the Phoenix shooting, because the Phoenix will kill them. And that's the opposite of what is necessary. So, get this fully saturated. We can warp in more reinforcements. And again, Kerrigan should be moving out here pretty soon. Another pylon. Let's avoid getting supply blocked, please. You're going to be my eventual pylon lord probe. I'm going to grab even another gateway. Maybe like 5 gateways eventually as we proceed through this. Okay, and that's probably enough Phoenix for now. We don't need that many.
Minions, move out. Eviscerate any fool who stands in your way.
Okay, and then, so she's on her way. It's not a lot of stuff, but it's enough to help us out here. So get in there, Kerrigan. And I'm going to feedback, and then storm whatever I can that gets lifted up. If we're lucky, we'll get the killing blow on some of this stuff. Again, there's really no way to know. Okay, and then Kerrigan can help us kill some of this other stuff. Thank you, Blood Hunters.
Move in and destroy it.
For disabling the turrets. Alright, good stuff. And then meanwhile, back at home, just keep making some Phoenix. I'm going to grab a Forge and then a Robo Facility. More pylons. Okay, and then one more probe.
Crystal destroyed. Sensors are showing 3 more remain, Hierarch.
I seek for your Cassar de Templar.
Okay, and we could probably move on right down here quickly. I'm going to grab more forward reinforcements. Again, this is like the meat to our army that I otherwise don't have to build. Very important. Grab one more gateway, one more pylon for the future. Okay, and then Mr. Pylon Lord. Now let's move on down here with our army. You get in the back. Okay, now get up there. Blood Hunters will disable the pylons, not pylons, but cannons, which is flippin' awesome. Let's get over here and storm. I hope we get some of these kills. Hard to tell who's getting hit with these Hunter Seekers. There we go. So hopefully we got some kills there. I know we want to collect some Vespene. Next part we want to do is go and clear out a part of the map that can be really irritating later.
The second Xel'Naga power source has been secured. I only detect one energy signal left.
So I'm going to go and wipe it out with Solar Lance. Keep getting extra units. Okay, so I'm going to actually fly in with 2 Phoenix. Probably only need to send 1. Okay, so we want to kill this Raven. These Ravens have so much energy, they're able to just annihilate. They can shoot so many of these Seeker missiles, it's absurd. Okay, so I'm going to get in there now and clean this up. Okay, and then Blood Hunters, please don't recast that. I just want to destroy this. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to head back to my base, pick up this Vespene. This was the second bonus right there. And then we're going to get more Blood Hunters, more High Templar, and then we're going to be getting these Annihilators and Phoenix. Okay, so I'm spending my money as best I can, and we're going to poise ourselves to go and attack the second base here on the left. I feel like we're a little behind, especially because my units just pathed the wrong way. So we got to really get a move on here, because this is going to become quite stressful. Let's go ahead and change our chrono here. And I'm going to go ahead and throw down my Cyber Core finally. And then Pylons, and then Pylon Lord. Come on down here and set this up. I'm going to save Solar Lance because I don't need to use it here. We're going to attack into this direction. Very important thing to do is you need to feed back that guy right there before he storms your units.
I'm going to secure a crystal myself, Artanis. Join me if you wish.
Okay, this Colossus is tearing me up. It's in a really weird spot. It shouldn't be there. And it just obliterated all my other stuff, unfortunately. I'm using Shadow Cannon where possible on these hybrid.
Artanis, hurry up and disable those void crystals. My hive cluster is taking a beating.
Okay.
Warriors, the crystal is secure. Destroy it as soon as possible.
Okay, so then Kerrigan's going to eventually move up here to attack into the next base. So we want to just use the vision that she provides us in order to Solar Lance once, and then we'll Solar Lance again when we decide to go in the second time.
2 crystals destroyed. I suspect Amon's forces will not let us take the next 2 so easily.
Hybrid are moving to attack our nexus point. Ready our defenses.
Okay, I want to make sure I hit all these carriers. We want to kill these carriers. Okay, looks like we got them. And now we're going to push back these hybrid. I'm going to turn some of these into Archons. Get some more Blood Hunters.
Pull back. Regenerate my forces.
So we're going to have to push back this attack, which we can use Storm on and maybe get some kills if we're really lucky. Okay, then we have to kill the hybrid. Not Pylon Lord. How dare you. Okay, and then this, good time to use Shadow Cannon. And then we want a hotkey here to make more Immortals and more Phoenix. Very low on gas. We can pick this one up. We're going to go and attack now that Solar Lance is coming up. Stalkers stay in the back. Okay, so now we're going to attack straight on in here. I am going to... Mostly the Colossi and the Void Rays need to die. And then feed back the Hybrid Dominators because I don't want them storming me too much. Right, there's really only so much we can realistically do. And then we Shadow Cannon the Void Rays. We got to get in here. Trying to get up there to feedback here. My guys are stuck. There we go. Okay, so we're in. We lost a lot of stuff, but that is okay. We are fine. And then we're just going to go ahead and make probably some Zealots here and maybe a couple extra Stalkers. We can get some Sentries.
The crystal is free of defenders. Our warriors can destroy it whenever you are ready.
Okay, and I'm just going to go straight for the crystal here. There's really no reason in doing anything else.
Only one remains, and the portal is growing unstable. We must destroy the final crystal, and do so with haste.
Hybrid inbound on our nexus point. Warriors, intercept them.
Okay, keep getting Phoenix.
You require more Vespine gas.
And we have to kill these hybrid again. What I'm going to do is turn some more of these into Archons. As long as we have a few, we need to be able to feed back as time goes on. We might as well dump our minerals into some Sentinels. And now we have to kill this
I'm
group.
sending my army your way, Artanis. They'll help clear a path to the crystals.
So we can attack with her. We don't want to forget the bonus as well. So let's Shadow Cannon these. Save some Shadow Cannons for later as well. Okay, that's good stuff. Let's go and grab the bonus real quick. I think you can do it with air units, actually. There we go.
That is the last of the vessels, Karax.
Understood. I am transferring the final power source now.
Okay, we want to hit this asshole Raven. That's so important, because it'll just keep using Seeker missiles on us, which is such a pain. Okay, so right here, feedback this thing. If possible, we're really stuck in here. Feedback right there. There we go. And then we got an Annihilator Cannon, beam, whatever it's called. Shadow Cannon this thing. Anything that we can see that's going to cause us problems. And then we feed back. I'm going to use Warp and Reinforcements at the top of this ramp. We should be on track. Okay, everyone get up here. Clean this up. This hive is going down. We should have just enough time to finish it. Feedback and feedback. I don't have any shadow cannons up, do I? I have some. Okay.
The final crystal has been secured. Destroy it, and victory is ours.
And we've done it. The real question is, did we kill enough stuff with Psionic Storm?
Let this be a reckoning. From this point forward, we stand united. We shall turn back the tide of Amon's darkness. We fought well this day, Kerrigan. Join us. Together, we can defeat Amon and send him back into the void.
My swarm was broken here, Artanis. I'll need time to rebuild my forces.
There is no time. My people are being consumed. Their very flesh turned into Amon's own. I cannot wait.
Then you must do as I have. Gather allies, subjugate enemies, do whatever you can to ensure victory. Survival is never pretty.
We are very different leaders, but I thank you nonetheless. Until we meet again.
Moment of truth. He's done it. 20 units killed by Psi Storms. I'm shocked. And then we did get that 3 hives devoured, not 4. The 4th and 5th hives were spared. That's a tough one. I mean, what it really comes down to there is wanting to get all the achievements at the same time. And then the mastery is beyond that. Again, you could probably do all 3 if you cheese it. And I didn't want to cheese it. So, I got these 2, and honestly, these 2 together, especially on Brutal, the Psi Storm one, because you really have to go out of your way to make a lot more High Templar than you otherwise would if you just want to blast through the map in order to get this achievement to go fast. Plus, I wanted to use it as an opportunity to show off the Double Lift Phoenix, and the Blood Hunters, and the Annihilators, all things that I kind of had to micro separately, that I could have otherwise just picked some brainless units that I didn't have to do anything with. But we managed to do all of it. Now there's going to be a lot of dialogue here, and it's probably going to be longer than the mission itself up until this point, because we're going to go back to the spear, talk to everyone. There's going to be a little interlude as we decide where to go next, and then we're going to travel there and then talk to everyone again. So strap in. It's going to be a bit of a long section of dialogue here on the spear.
Artanis, Hierarch of the Twilight Council, Warlord of the Templar. I had expected so much more.
Arrogance! Watch your words, or my blade will watch them for you.
Oh, that's hardly a way to speak of one who saved your master's life.
You care little for my survival, Alarak. What is the true reason you've come to me?
Our god broke his ancient covenant, and cast us low.
These are lies, Artanis.
I am the liar. Are you not but a lie incarnate, machine? Protoss.
Speak your peace, Alarak.
The Tal'Darim's death fleet amasses at Slayn, awaiting the start of a full-scale invasion. I come with an offer. You will aid me in invoking a challenge for the right to rule my kind as High Lord. And in return, I will grant you a cessation of hostilities between our people.
Phoenix, rally my advisors. It appears we have much to discuss.
Ah, Artanis. I believe I will serve you more effectively from here. Besides, I would rather Alarak remain where he can be watched.
Okay, so Vorazun sits in here now so that these two can start getting along, I guess. Let's check out the new unit variations.
Powerful psionic warriors have joined our ranks, Hierarch. You must choose among them.
Right.
Cassar de Templar.
So we just used a lot of High Templar abilities, so I really can't see myself using them again. There are a limited number of missions left, so I gotta try to squeeze in as many different unit variations as I can. The Dark Archons are cool, though. The confusion that they have is excellent. It's essentially like a mass stun, but also they deal damage to each other at the same time. It's very, very strong, so we'll consider using these.
Cassar de
And then
Templar.
also...
New Tal'Darim robotics have been constructed based on Alarak's specifications. Let us hope his instructions were thorough.
We got these Havocs. Now, in the case of the robotic support, I've always said, so we've got damage, survivability, utility. And again, I think you can assign those roles loosely to almost every group here. Some, it doesn't necessarily apply 100%, as I've said, but I think it's kind of cool, even for the robotic supports, you can assign those. So we'll come back and revisit this for the next mission, deciding what to pick.
Nothing was as it seemed. We came to Ulnar to awaken the Xel'Naga and receive their aid. Instead, Amon nearly killed us. I fear Zeratul prophecy is no longer clear to me.
He was closer to the truth than I thought. The Xel'Naga did rest here. Had they lived, I think they would have given us their aid, just as Zeratul said. If nothing else, I will grant him that.
Matriarch, your words surprise me.
Perhaps your counsel has proved influential in some regards.
Then I will endeavor to give you more of it.
I said some regards, Hierarch. Not all.
Rohana, do you not see why you must sever your nerve cords? I cannot allow you to fall under Amon's sway again.
The Kala was created in our darkest moment. Only its light was able to bind our people to give us unity. We are born into it, and when we die, our spirits become one with it. It is worth fighting for.
And now Amon uses it against us. It sustains his existence. Its time must end.
Artanis, through the Kala, our every thought and emotion are made as one. I feel his thoughts and emotions swirling like a vortex throughout. He does not realize it, but here, within the Kala, he is vulnerable.
How?
Just as he can see into me, I can see into him. We can use this to our advantage, Hierarch. I know it.
It is not worth it.
Please, I only ask for time.
Now, as long as you don't occasionally mind turning into a giant, creepy red monster.
Hierarch, I apologize for the interruption, but Phase Smith Carax has urgently requested your presence within the Solar Core.
Oh, we'll go.
You must know Amon will destroy you.
If you have such faith in him, why are you here?
Oh, I merely voice the inevitable. I know the true power of what you face. I said destroy you, not I.
I have seen enough. His hubris will be his undoing. It is a flaw I also see in you.
I believe I like you, Hierarch. Your bravery is commendable.
Join me then. Together, we can defeat him.
I cannot tether my fate to yours. Hatred does not burn within you as it does in me. You do not see through the agony of knowing all you believed in is a lie, and that your only solace is found in the destruction of your betrayer.
No. Amon corrupted my people, and now turns them into a hybrid abomination. My rage burns brighter than 1,000 suns, and soon all will see my wrath unleashed.
Then this is something I hope to witness.
Friendship.
Hierarch, I believe I have found a way to save our people. As Zeratul foresaw, this keystone can indeed be our salvation.
Explain yourself.
As we have seen, the keystone was designed to be found and assembled by those who would ascend to become Xel'Naga. After leading them to Ulnar, it would also expel its stored energy to awaken the slumbering Xel'Naga. The keystone siphons energies and redistributes essence, matter, information, consciousness. To this device, they are all the same. I see that now.
This is how it cleansed Kerrigan?
It extracted the essence that forged her into the Queen of Blades. And then it used that energy to release Amon from the void. If I can discover how to control the keystone, we could use it to extract Amon from the Kala and save our people.
Then Zeratul has led us to hope after all. Continue your research, Karax. We have a war to take to Amon.
So the idea is we came to Ulnar and it seemed fruitless. There was nothing there that was really helpful, but we realized if we hadn't come here, then the keystone wouldn't have done this thing and Karax wouldn't have figured it out.
This keystone contains more information than I could ever hope to understand. We were all quite concerned for you, Hierarch.
Oh, thank you. He said it twice.
It appears the keystone is returning to pre-event levels. You missed quite the performance, Hierarch. There must be a way to test the limits of the keystone's absorption capabilities. Where does one acquire void energy? When exposed to void energies, the keystone begins absorbing them immediately, even from a considerable distance. We can use this.
You were right all along, Hierarch. I am little more than a clone of your friend Phoenix. The Tal'Darim speaks truth. I am synthetic, a replication, a lie.
What did you find in the archive?
My death, my rebirth as a dragoon, and then my death at the hands of this Queen of Blades. I am not Phoenix, yet I hold his memories as if they were my own. I must have time to consider this.
You are a warrior, Phoenix. Whether you identify yourself as my old friend or not, know that I believe in you. And I believe you will help me destroy Amon's armies and save our people. Do not waver because of this knowledge.
I will try, Hierarch.
Did we get anything new here? Any new tiers? We did. No, this was last mission. Okay, well, we got some more solar right now, so we might be able to increase to another tier next time. I think that's it. It's time to travel.
The Void Portal within Ulnar has been sealed, but a greater threat looms. Amon is transforming our people into a host form.
While we were focused upon Ulnar, he has unleashed the full might of the Golden Armada, using our own weaponry to eradicate life from planets across the Kapulu sector.
Our current forces are not powerful enough to engage the Great Fleet, but Amon's other servants run rampant across the sector.
Then we should strike immediately. Eliminate his outlying forces.
The ancient purifiers were designed for war.
If we reactivate them, we can build our armies and destroy Amon's Zergloods in one fell swoop.
Assuming they do not turn on us first. The Purifiers possess no loyalty, no honor.
You waste time bickering. The Tal'Darim's death fleets are your threat. I alone can challenge Malash for the right to rule and bend his army to my will.
Do not forget Mobius Corps. They are rumored to operate from a hidden base where they forge a hybrid army to serve, even now.
This is true, but we cannot engage them without knowing where they are. Vorazun, send your most elite Dark Templar to scour the sector. For now, Karax, your focus must remain with the Keystone. The survival of our people depends on our actions in the days to come. It falls to the Firstborn to stop the coming Oblivion.
Okay, so going to Endion gets us Colossi. Going to Slayn gets us Void Rays. Now, I think Colossi are like our tier 3 ground. So I think I'm going to go to Slayn first and go for like our tier 2.5 air. I usually go to Endion first, so let's switch it up and go to Slayn. And I also imagine, in terms of in-game reasoning, Alarak just sort of joined us on the ship. He'd just sort of be sitting around if we went to Endion first. So why don't we kind of secure that alliance before anything else and go to Slayn?
The Xel'Naga are dead. There is no salvation within Ulnar. And yet, we indeed found hope. Now, we must eliminate Amon's armies. Siding with Alarak is indeed a risk. Tassadar, old friend, what would you do? Zeratul, would you have me take such a chance? The answer matters little. If this alliance can weaken Amon's armies, then it is a chance that must be taken.
Okay, off to Slayn.
It is an armada.
Behold the Death Fleet under Amon's command, poised on laying waste to all life in the sector.
Then we had best act swiftly.
Rakshir. Usurpation by ritual combat cannot be rushed. Its rites demand careful preparations if they are to be accepted.
We are in orbit above a hostile world with an imposing fleet, and you speak of preparation?
I intend to depose Malash, the ruler of an entire people, and bring them under my thrall. You will aid me, and in return, I will remove the Tal'Darim from this conflict. That was our bargain. To do this, the ritual must be carried out as tradition demands.
This bargain grows less appealing by the moment.
Empire Strikes Back reference.
I wish to know more about this Rakshir, your ritual combat.
To understand Rakshir, you must first understand the sacred chain of ascension that ultimately links to Amon. Each of us is shackled to his will, and to the will of he who is in the link above. And yet, there is a way to ascend. By blade and blood, any Tal'Darim can usurp the position of the one above his station. It is through this ritual that Amon's ascendants are assured to be the most capable to carry out his will.
Then Malash is the most powerful of your people?
He is considered so, but he has yet to face me.
Well, Alarak, the one time we saw you last at the beginning of this campaign, you failed. The Tal'Darim failing at a lot of stuff they're doing, so I don't want to break it to you, but probably shouldn't be so confident.
Hierarch, my scouts are tracking the movements of the Golden Armada.
There are things I understand about the Tal'Darim. Their zeal, their desire to appease their god. What I cannot understand is why Amon would cast aside his loyal allies so easily. Why he would betray their sacred trust and treat them as fodder.
I have felt his grand ambitions, Artanis. The dark truth is, Amon wishes no allies, aside from his hybrid. He believes he's ending a cycle of violence, but he only brings about an eternity of abomination.
Of all the planets in the galaxy, they chose Slayn for their homeworld. Whatever shall we do with this Malarak? He is quite unpleasant. Many of the Tal'Darim still hate us. I must keep my people safe.
I've been analyzing the Tal'Darim's war machines. Their technology is cloned from Kalai designs. Aside from the construction materials, there is little deviation. How is this feat possible?
There have always been legends of vessels that set out into the cosmos and never returned. Of attack forces gone missing.
I have heard these stories. Whispers of angry spirits of our past that strike when you are most vulnerable. Imagine if all this time we have been fighting an unknown war against the Tal'Darim.
It would explain a great deal.
How sad. They are thieves, never knowing the joys of their own invention. How despicable.
Got him.
The keystone is resonating to void energies below. We should investigate this further, Hierarch. What possible source of void energy is emanating from Slayn? Hybrid? I shudder to think what lurks below. What possible source of void?
I cannot bring myself to hope for Alarak's victory, but I also cannot hope for his defeat. What will happen to Alarak if he fails? I am merely curious. These Tal'Darim have strange customs.
Okay.
What now?
Jeez, we came here to help you. Okay, well, when we come back, we'll start Slayn. Those missions can be a little tricky. There's 5 missions left before we go back to Ire. One of them's kind of gimmicky and requires carriers, so I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to show off literally every unit variation. So that's unfortunate, but we'll try to show off as many as we can. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye now.